begin my remarks this morning by extending a warm welcome to all distinguished delegates, friends, and my fellow sisters who have traveled from different countries on this continent, and indeed from outside, to come and join us at this auspicious conference. Allow me, in a very special way, to extend my sincere and heartfelt gratitude to our President, His Excellency President Lazarus Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi, for presiding over this ceremony. I am particularly delighted, Your Excellency, because one of the objectives of this conference is to facilitate strategic and constructive male engagement and the retention of gender-sensitive male champions. Your presence this morning, therefore, Your Excellency, signifies your support, commitment, and dedication to gender equality and women's empowerment. You are a positive role model for men and young boys, not only in Malawi, but on the continent of Africa, and therefore a male champion for gender equality. It is for this reason that the Generation Equality is honoring you this morning. Your Excellency, allow me to take this opportunity to thank Madam Clara, UN Women former representative. I will not even attempt to pronounce her second name. You have fought a good fight, and you have finished it well. Traditionally, Your Excellency, when the term is up and a new director is appointed, the old one must leave before the other one comes. But we asked permission from Ms. Chiwala if this lady could stay for this event because of her contribution towards its success. Taking over from her is our own sister from next door, Ms. Chiwara. There they call her Ms. Chiwara, but here, the Chiwala Bas. I told her, I said, here, you're a grasshopper. Ms. Chiwara, Your Excellency, is an old friend of Malawi. And so we know that Madam Patricia Kaliati, you are still in safe hands, because I know that Madam Clara loved you. But you're in safe hands. You have another very, very strong partner and advocate. Ladies and gentlemen, we have every reason to be excited today. We are launching the first intergenerational dialogue on generation equality and women's leadership. This is a momentous occasion for me, and indeed for my fellow women and men who have been part of our journey to gender equality and women empowerment throughout the world. It marks yet another milestone in our quest to see a world where women and girls can exercise their freedom and choices, realize all their rights, and indeed participate fully in all spaces. In 2020, we celebrated the 25th anniversary of the adoption of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. As we celebrated, we also had to take stock of what we had achieved and where we were lagging behind. We noted that in many sectors of our economies, although there have been some significant achievements, special efforts are still required to see meaningful change. There are still critical gaps in equality that have left millions of women and girls behind. It is for this reason that the Generation Equality Forum was convened in Mexico and in France from 30th June to 2nd July 2021. Generation Equality Forum brought together governments, corporations, and change makers around the world to make bold commitment in gender equality and agree on a global acceleration plan for gender equality by 2026. 6 years were identified that we need to focus in order to make gains in gender equality. Your Excellency, Malawi is a leader under the coalition of feminist movement and leadership, as the UNDP rep has said. The feminist movement and leadership coalition is a critical aspect and an important driver of change in gender equality and indeed human rights for all. We are today holding the first intergenerational dialogue on generational equality agenda and women's leadership. As a convener and on behalf of fellow leaders under this coalition, I'm proud of this milestone. This conference has brought together older and younger generations so that we can have meaningful conversations and create a shared knowledge on issues relating to gender equality. We have created a safe space for young women and girls to participate, to discuss their challenges, and more importantly, to join the feminist movement. Allow me, therefore, to just outline our program for the next 3 days. Your Excellency, after this opening ceremony this morning, we will this afternoon hold a high-level discussion between African and Malawian women leaders, where we will share our opportunities and challenges. Later in the afternoon, we will hold a panel discussion where we will have an intergenerational dialogue and reflect on what it means to be an African woman leader. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, these 5 leaders that are here have stories. In fact, somebody listening to us yesterday said, shouldn't you be writing books? Because unfortunately, African women, we don't write books. But we have stories that would benefit the younger women. We will also hear the expectations of younger leaders and the support they need for them to rise and achieve their dreams. In the evening, we will present awards to former firsts. These are women who were the first to take decision-making positions in different sectors in Malawi. We shall also be giving a lifetime achievement to the first ever elected president on the continent of Africa, President Ellen Sirleaf. Tomorrow, Your Excellency, we will hold a Girls and Young Men Conference, which have been sponsored by Plan International. The Girls' Conference will, among other things, give an opportunity to hear from girl activists. The First Lady, Her Excellency Madam Monica Chakwera, will launch Education Plus initiative, which promotes education for girls in Malawi. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to inform you that the Right Honorable Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Jewel Taylor, is the founder of the Jewel Starfish Foundation in Liberia, whose mission is to equip the next generation of female leaders with skills and tools that they become significant contributors to their communities and society. Her foundation, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is also paying school fees and supporting 21 girls at Lilongwe Girls Secondary School. I would like to recognize in a very special way, Your Excellency, your Cabinet Minister, Honorable Vera Kuntukule, who is helping her identify needy girls to send them to school. Thank you, Madam. We will also have a session where young boys will discuss their role in advancing gender equality. Young women leaders and young men leaders will be given an opportunity to have a conversation on issues of gender equality. As I've always said, Your Excellency, all over the world when I speak, there's a stubborn link between women's economic empowerment and their participation in elected office. There are so many able women who would make good leaders that end up not being elected because they didn't have the means to campaign on equal ground with their male counterparts. So, Your Excellency, tomorrow afternoon, led by COMESA that are present here, we shall be laying a billboard at the site where we will soon be constructing the headquarters of women in business in COMESA region. And what is funny, Your Excellency, is that when I was head of state, I gave a plot of 4 acres to the women in business COMESA to build their headquarters. Somehow, that plot changed hands until your government came back into place. And when you got into office, you said there'll be no corruption here. The plot changed hands back to COMESA. Your Excellency, we have organizations that have come that will attend a gala dinner tomorrow night, a business gala dinner, where we're asking foreign businesses and local businesses to come. At this event, we shall be honoring those men and women who have spent most of their entire adult life supporting women to start businesses, particularly at grassroots level. On Saturday morning, we shall continue with a business dialogue. And it is my sincere hope that a lot of businesses in Malawi will come to take advantage of the presence of these business gurus that have come from outside Malawi. On Saturday afternoon, to close after the business dialogue in the morning, in the afternoon we shall have a closing ceremony. And Your Excellency, we have decided that leaving behind 85% of our people in Malawi is disastrous and it is suicidal. Therefore, we are bringing to Bingu Center 1,500 rural business women in the informal sector. Your Excellency, I would like to commend TNM because they have supported us and funded some of the activities there. So UN Women, UNDP, Yamba Malawi, and Joyce Banda Foundation have partnered with TNM to mount that huge event on Saturday afternoon. Your Excellency, TNM has decided that time has come for our rural women to have access to e-banking. So the equivalent of M-Pesa. Your Excellency, we are not playing. We have decided that we are going to rise and take advantage of the environment you have created to thrive. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me lastly to mention that together with other leaders and partners under the Feminist Movement and Leadership Action Coalition, we are called upon to promote, support, and mobilize funding for feminist movements, expand and support civic space, as Nabi has said. Work together towards ensuring that there is meaningful participation, leadership, and decision-making power of women, girls, and other diverse groups of people, and to strengthen adolescent girls and young feminist leaders and their movements and organizations. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when they launched this agenda in Paris and Mexico, they also said they had found through research that only 1% of the money raised to promote women goes to organizations that are supporting women. Therefore, we are saying that must change today, including our banks in this country. Once again, Your Excellency, I would like to thank you for accepting to come and preside over this event. But I wanted to say that your able Minister of Health called me and asked about a project she had heard me mention on radio that I wanted to establish a cancer testing and treatment center. Where was that project? I said, well, I don't know why, but people are dragging their feet, but the person who was raising the funds and equipment is ready to ship. As a matter of fact, she's in Zambia presenting the same to the government of Zambia. In fact, yesterday, she was meeting President HH. And the Minister of Health said, bring her to Malawi. I will meet her personally, and we shall work together and ensure that we get the equipment. So I wanted you, Madam Kumbiza, if you are here, to know that Mrs. Dr. Arikana Chihombori is in the room. I hope she is. Is she here? Yes. Those of you who will recall, when I was president, she sent into Malawi containers and containers of drugs for our hospitals. She's once again prepared, if she gets support from our government, to bring equipment and drugs as much as we want. I have warned her that you can't say no to my Minister of Health, so she's available and she's ready for that meeting. I would like to mention that we also have here Dr. Gloria Hendon. I don't know if she's in the room, but when I was in 2000, we met in Chicago, and I was elected the first woman to head what we called African and American Business Women's Alliance, ABWA. And when I left to go actively into politics, Dr. Gloria Hendon took over from me. I asked her to come so that we can begin to see how she can bring American women here to start businesses with their fellow women. Your Excellency, I don't even need to talk about Mr. Paul Hinks and his dear wife, Julie. Your Excellency, Julie runs their Symbion company. While, yes, gender equality. And, and Paul is chair of the 100 companies seeking to do business in Africa. We thought that our businesses in Malawi can interact with Paul and the others that my colleague chair mentioned earlier. I want to recognize in a special way 2 young ladies who have been sent here by Dr. Akindele Akintoye from Nigeria. He is the owner of Capital Platform. The reason why it is important to mention him is because we are targeting him. In Nigeria, he supports local business women, informal women in the markets, but also he's paying a lot of attention to organizations that are supporting women to stand for elected office. As a matter of fact, he has just given $2 million to an organization, and the lady who leads that organization promoting fellow women to stand for election is here in the room. Are the 2 ladies from Nigeria here? Thank you for coming. Thank you. And another aspect is that Dr. Akindele has said he wants to work with Malawian business women, and he has invited a trade mission from Malawi to go to Nigeria in July. So over to you, Madam Chair. I wanted to close with this question, and it is not because I want to depress anybody, but it is important for us to leave this room angry. There's a gentleman called Professor Chris Fomun. If he's here, maybe he could stand up. Welcome for coming. Welcome to Malawi. He is the head of NDI Africa region. But he comes here because of the work he has done to support women in Africa. Right now, he's focusing more on women locked up in conflict situations. So some of you have seen the articles he has been writing on Cameroon. I would like to say that he is one of them who is going to be very active talking to our young men in this conference. I wanted to end with this question. Our women, the majority of our women, why is it that they till the land, they plant the crop, they tend the crop, they harvest, they store, they process, they cook, they serve, and then eat last and least? That is going to be the discussion of this week. While those of us who have made it, who are here, are okay, but have still got issues to discuss, we have the majority locked up in abject poverty, but ready to change their situation. The good news, Your Excellency, they are listening to what you're saying. They are not sitting back and waiting for handouts. They are ready to work to change their situation. It doesn't make sense that they should eat last and least. Have a good day.